When the bell rings, most students think of freedom, but for some, it marked the beginning of fear. These are not drills, these are real stories of lockdowns that shook the foundations of normal school life. And after hearing them, you might never look at a classroom the same way again. It was just another dull Friday afternoon. Seventh period, calculus. The kind of day where every second drags and all you can think about is spring break starting in a matter of hours. Our teacher was one of the laid-back ones, the kind who didn't mind tossing out the lesson plan if the class seemed checked out. That day, instead of going over derivatives or whatever was in the curriculum, he pulled up Sporkle and started a brand logo quiz on the projector. Everyone got a little more animated, tossing out answers and laughing when someone guessed wrong. I remember exactly when it happened. My friend had just said Adidas and got it right. We were about to move to the next question when the loudspeaker crackled to life. The dean's voice came on, but this wasn't the usual calm tone for announcements. He sounded shaken. He said, "Teachers, this is not a drill. Go into lockdown. I repeat, this is not a drill." Immediately, the atmosphere shifted. My arms were covered in goosebumps. Even our chill teacher's face went pale. He turned off the lights without saying a word and rushed us to the back of the classroom. We huddled into a corner, barely breathing. About 2 minutes passed. Total silence. Then we noticed something strange. The soft hum from a panel in the back of the room stopped. That was the school cutting the power. We looked at each other. This was real. A few minutes later, a sound echoed down the hallway. Screaming. A man was yelling at the top of his lungs. 2 girls next to me started crying instantly. The screams grew. No one ever confirmed if he was caught. Some say he vanished for good. Others think he's still out there, wandering. But I like to believe he's getting the help he desperately needed. Still, every time I hear a loud bang at school, I'm taken right back to that day, and I know it wasn't a drill. It was early October. One of those rainy, gray days where the clouds feel like they're pressing down on the school. I was in the first lunch period, 6th and 7th graders mostly. I'd just gotten in line when I heard it. 4 loud booms. I thought it was thunder at first, but the cafeteria exploded into screaming. At first, I rolled my eyes, thinking everyone was overreacting. Then campus security burst in, shouting for everyone to get inside the multi-purpose room, now. Anyone still in line had to throw away their food. We rushed into the large, echoey space. It was huge with a back wall made of glass panels. As we packed in, staff quickly pulled the curtain shut and locked every door. My friend Eric managed to ask one of the staff what was going on. When he came back, his face was pale. "You know those houses across from TMS?" he whispered. "There's this guy, mentally unstable. He barricaded himself inside his house, says he'll kill himself and the cops if he gets evicted." Apparently, this same man had been lurking outside our school earlier, watching kids in a way that made everyone uncomfortable. And worst of all, he was a registered sex offender. We ended up stuck in the multi-purpose room for over an hour. No one knew what was going on. Everyone just whispered rumors and stared at the curtained windows, imagining the worst. After it all ended, we were escorted back to class, room by room. That evening, I called my friend Brandy, who lives near the school. She told me something that made my stomach turn. "Last Halloween," she said, I saw that same man in his window. He was cutting his arm and using his blood to write on the glass. What did it say? Don't come here or I'll kill you. Brandy had thought it was a Halloween prank. We all did. But after that day in October, we knew better. He wasn't pretending. And he was way too close. I was 22, fresh out of college and back at my old high school. Only now I was working there, a part-time tech intern, mostly stationed in the school basement where all the servers were. It wasn't glamorous, but it was quiet. And the office setup wasn't half bad. 3 desks, 2 mini fridges, a mounted TV, and the one thing no one else in the school had, air conditioning. That day, I was alone in the office. My coworkers, Dave and Gary, were upstairs dealing with paperwork. I was halfway through a sandwich when my phone rang. It was the front office. "We're in lockdown," the woman said. "This is not a drill. Someone possibly armed has entered the building." There wasn't much I could do. The office didn't even have a proper door, just a wide opening. And the basement door? No lock. I turned off the lights, killed my monitor, and crouched behind the desk. I texted Dave and Gary, but they weren't replying. 20 minutes passed. Nothing. Then, the basement door creaked open. The sound echoed down the stairwell and into my office like thunder. Footsteps followed. Fast, heavy. They were coming straight toward me. I pushed my chair aside and crawled under the desk, holding my breath. Then, silence. Someone had entered the room, but they didn't turn on the lights. The only sound in that moment was the pounding of my heart. And then, ding, my phone lit up. A new text. Panic surged through me. I froze. The footsteps moved closer. I couldn't take it. I dove out from under the desk, yelling, "Please don't shoot!" A man grabbed my arm. He wore a red plaid shirt, jeans, and a dark cap. "It's okay," he said. "I'm just hiding down here like you. I came to pick up my son. Then a teacher told me to stay put." Something felt off. I asked if there was an exit nearby. I pointed toward the back, but something in me needed to be sure. I asked, "Who are you?" He hesitated. His answer was vague, too vague. I checked my phone. The text was from Dave. It said, "Dude, this is insane. Some guy shot Mr. Buckley. Red shirt, red cap. Stay in the basement. Don't come up." I froze. Looked up. The man was staring at me. He knew. And I knew. Without thinking, I ran. A shot rang out behind me. I heard the bullet ricochet off metal, but it missed. I scrambled up the stairs, heart in my throat, until I burst into the hallway, where police tackled him the moment he came through the door. Later, I found out the shooter had a grudge against Mr. Buckley. No one knows why. All I know is he could have killed me, and I still hear that gunshot in my dreams. 3 stories. One shared feeling. Pure fear. Thank you for joining the Midnight Voice. If these tales sent a chill down your spine, you know what to do. Subscribe and let the darkness whisper to you again very soon.